Imagine standing on the battlefield of ancient China, a place where traditional swords and spears clash, but suddenly, an eerie whistling sound fills the air. This is the sound of the fire lance, a weapon that would change warfare forever. Developed during the Song dynasty in the 10th century, the fire lance was a primitive yet revolutionary precursor to the gun. Essentially a spear with a bamboo tube attached, it contained gunpowder that, when ignited, would shoot flames and projectiles at the enemy. Picture the chaos as these early flamethrowers spewed fire and shrapnel, breaking enemy lines and sowing terror among troops unprepared for such a fearsome innovation. The fire lance marked the beginning of the end for traditional hand-to-hand combat, introducing the world to the destructive potential of gunpowder and setting the stage for centuries of evolving warfare technology. Did you know the Aztecs had a club embedded with obsidian shards that could decapitate a horse? Now picture this, in the dense African jungles of the 19th century, the Zulu warriors wielded a deceptively simple yet devastating weapon known as the Ikalwa. This short spear, named after the sound it made when thrust into an enemy's body, was a revolutionary innovation by the legendary leader Shaka Zulu. Unlike traditional spears meant for throwing, the Ikalwa was designed for close combat with a broader blade and shorter shaft, allowing Zulu warriors to engage their enemies in tightly knit formations. In the Battle of Isandlwana in 1879, this seemingly primitive weapon played a pivotal role as 20,000 Zulu warriors armed with Ikalwas overwhelmed a British force, marking one of the greatest indigenous victories against a colonial power. The Ikalwa's effectiveness in hand-to-hand combat turned it into an iconic symbol of Zulu ingenuity and resilience, forever etching it into the annals of military history. Have you ever wondered how a weapon could shift the tide of empires? Picture yourself in the 16th century, where the Japanese samurai wielded the fearsome katana. However, it wasn't the katana but the introduction of the Portuguese arquebus in the Battle of Nagashino in 1575 that turned the tides. The Takeda clan, known for their invincible cavalry, faced the Oda Tokugawa alliance. The arquebus, a primitive firearm, was deployed in volleys behind wooden stockades, decimating the charging samurai. This battle marked a pivotal moment in Japanese warfare, illustrating the profound impact of the arquebus in transitioning Japan from traditional to modern military tactics. The echoes of that day still resonate in military history, underscoring how a single weapon can redefine the fate of nations. Could you imagine a weapon so advanced for its time that it could pierce the armor of the mightiest knights, yet be wielded by a common foot soldier? Enter the English longbow, a seemingly simple wooden bow that revolutionized medieval warfare. During the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, the English army, vastly outnumbered by French forces, relied on thousands of longbowmen to unleash a deadly rain of arrows. These arrows, traveling at speeds that could penetrate plate armor, decimated the French cavalry and nobility, turning the tide of battle. The longbow's devastating effectiveness not only reshaped military tactics but also signaled the decline of the chivalric knight and the rise of more egalitarian armies. This humble weapon, often overlooked in the annals of history, played a crucial role in shaping the course of the 100 Years' War and altering the very fabric of medieval society. Have you ever heard of the terrifying night witches of World War II, and the weapon they wielded to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies? The Polikarpov Po-2 biplane, a seemingly primitive aircraft made of wood and canvas, was the chosen weapon of the all-female 588th Night Bomber Regiment of the Soviet Union. These brave women would fly low and cut their engines to silently glide over German positions, dropping bombs before disappearing into the night. Despite its outdated design and slow speed, the Po-2's ability to evade radar and anti-aircraft fire made it a formidable weapon in the hands of these daring aviators. The Night Witch's relentless nocturnal raids left the Germans in a state of constant anxiety, proving that even the most unassuming weapon could become a symbol of resilience and terror. Have you ever heard of the Roman pilum, a spear designed to bend on impact? Now imagine a weapon equally ingenious yet birthed from the shadows of a different empire, the Korean hwacha. In the 15th century, during the Joseon dynasty, the hwacha emerged as a marvel of military engineering. Picture this, an imposing wooden cart, bristling with 100 to 200 rocket-propelled arrows, capable of unleashing a devastating volley upon enemy ranks. During the Imjin War in 1592, when Japanese forces invaded Korea, the hwacha turned the tide in several skirmishes. As the sun set and the battle cries echoed, Korean soldiers ignited the rockets, sending a fiery rain that scattered and decimated the invaders. This masterstroke of warfare not only showcased the brilliance of Korean ingenuity but also cemented the hwacha's place in the annals of military history, a testament to the relentless human pursuit of tactical superiority. Have you ever heard of the Chu-Ko-Nu, the ancient Chinese repeating crossbow, a weapon so ahead of its time that it could unleash a volley of bolts in mere seconds? Imagine standing on the battlefield of ancient China, where the rhythmic clatter of this formidable weapon echoed across the plains, striking fear into the hearts of enemies. Invented during the Warring States period and perfected by the Han Dynasty, the Chu-Ko-Nu was a mechanical marvel, capable of firing up to 10 bolts before needing to reload. This ingenious device allowed even the most inexperienced soldiers to rain down a deadly barrage with minimal training. Its impact was so profound that it remained in use for centuries, influencing the design of crossbows worldwide. The Chuko Nu wasn't just a weapon, it was a game-changer in military strategy, showcasing the innovative spirit and technological prowess of ancient China. Have you ever heard of the terrifying Greek fire? Imagine a weapon so formidable that it could set entire fleets ablaze and could not be extinguished by water. Developed by the Byzantine Empire in the 7th century, Greek fire was an incendiary weapon that struck fear into the hearts of enemy sailors and soldiers alike. Unlike any other weapon of its time, Greek fire could continue burning while floating on water, making it nearly impossible to counter once deployed. The exact composition of Greek fire remains one of history's best-kept secrets, adding to its mystique and legendary status. This weapon was often deployed via siphons mounted on ships or handheld tubes, transforming naval warfare and securing Byzantine dominance over the Mediterranean for centuries. The effectiveness and mystery of Greek fire make it one of the most intriguing and lesser-known weapons in the annals of military history. Have you ever wondered how ancient armies could devastate their enemies with a rain of arrows, seemingly from out of nowhere? Picture an ancient Chinese army wielding a weapon that could launch 100 arrows at once, the repeating crossbow. In the 4th century AD, under the Eastern Jin dynasty, General Zhuge Liang led an army equipped with these formidable weapons. Known as the Zhuge Nu, after the general himself, this crossbow was not just a marvel of engineering but a decisive factor in the Battle of Jiaotong. As the enemy forces approached, the defenders unleashed a relentless barrage of arrows, overwhelming their foes and turning the tide of battle. This innovation not only exemplified the ingenuity of ancient Chinese military technology but also left an indelible mark on the art of warfare, demonstrating how a single weapon could alter the course of history.